You're watching Reality Check, the latest in a wave of nativist populism that seems to be sweeping across India. The Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister announcing that government jobs in the state would only be reserved for locals, or as he put it, for children of the state. This just ahead of crucial by-elections in which MLAs who had defected from the Congress hope to win as BJP candidates. Now, Mr. Chauhan did not clarify how he intends to enforce this, given that courts in India have repeatedly struck down similar attempts by other governments as unconstitutional. Either way, the move comes at a time of intensified job losses and, as Anurag Dwari reports, has sparked a divide amongst those of the young who are seeking jobs.
These are young men and women taking exams for the Public Services Commission, which selects applicants for Madhya Pradesh government jobs. Until now, these were open to applicants from any states. The Chief Minister's announcements of jobs for locals has triggered a divide. Students from Madhya Pradesh welcomed it, like Jain Chanderi from tribal-dominated Alirajpur in Western MP, who couldn't pass the PSC, for which he blames outsiders.
फैसले से सारे स्टूडेंट काफ़ी खुश हैं। मैं खुद अलीराजपुर से काफ़ी टाइम से तैयारी कर रहा हूँ, विगत 3 वर्षों से तैयारी कर रहा हूँ पीएससी की, जिसमें मैं फॉरेस्ट की मेंस तक पहुँच चुका था। लेकिन बाहर के जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनका कंपटीशन होने की वजह से मैं कुछ नंबरों से मेरिट से बाहर हो गया।
बहुत ही अच्छा निर्णय है, क्योंकि जो कंपटीशन चलता है उसमें दूसरे प्रदेश के लोग भी, बिहार के मोस्टली ज़्यादा इसमें आरक्षण में उन लोगों को फायदा मिल जाता है।
शासन ने निर्णय लिया है स्टूडेंट्स के हित में जो कि सिविल सर्विसेज की तैयारी करते हैं। मेरा ये मानना है कि इससे मध्य प्रदेश के स्टूडेंट को बाहर नौकरी पाने के लिए प्रयास न करते हुए अपने ही प्रदेश में नौकरी पाने का प्रयास करेंगे तो उनके लिए अब बहुत अच्छा अवसर है।
But students like Anu Patel, who came all the way from Bihar to Singrauli in Eastern MP just to train for the Public Service Commission, are devastated.
दुर्भावनापूर्ण और ही उपेक्षापूर्ण ये निर्णय लिया गया है और इस तरह के निर्णय से कई स्टूडेंट जो सरकारी नौकरी पाने के काबिल हैं वो इस चीज से वंचित हो जाएंगे।
As this young man from Uttar Pradesh,
मैं खुद इस समय MPSI की तैयारी कर रहा हूँ। इस समय देश में वैसे भी नौकरियों की कमी है और इस समय ये मध्य प्रदेश सरकार का फैसला आना हम छात्रों के लिए बहुत दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण की बात है।
the Congress has taken a contradictory view on this. On one hand, Congress leaders like former Chief Minister Kamal Nath have tweeted in support of the move, claiming he had announced 70% quota for locals in private sector jobs when he was the Chief Minister. But the Congress also says Shivraj's move is a gimmick since courts had earlier struck down job quotas based on place of birth.
रीट पिटीशन 2377/2018 में मध्य प्रदेश उच्च न्यायालय पहले ही फैसला दे चुका है कि मध्य प्रदेश की सरकार भारत के संविधान के अनुच्छेद 15 और 16 का उल्लंघन नहीं कर सकती। शर्मनाक बात है, छोटे राजनीतिक उद्देश्यों को लेकर मध्य प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री प्रदेश के नागरिकों को भ्रमित कर रहे हैं।
On one hand, the government is making new promises of jobs, but the government data shows that as of 2019, there are about 93,000 vacancies in government jobs in MP still to be filled. Moreover, the economic survey of the state of 2019 shows that while the population in the state has increased by 20% in the past 10 years, government jobs reduced by 2.5% in the same period. With our bro colleagues and camera person Rizwan Khan in Bhopal, Anurag Dwari for NDTV.
All joining us tonight on Reality Check, we have with us Vivek Tankha. He's a senior Supreme Court lawyer and also Rajya Sabha MP of the Congress Party from Madhya Pradesh. Also joining us is Gurcharan Das, author and former CEO of Procter & Gamble India. We have with us Neha Bagga, spokesperson of the BJP in Madhya Pradesh. And we also have with us Amit Basole, assistant professor at Azim Premji University. He's worked very much on jobs and jobs data, and Dr. Ajay Kumar of the Aam Aadmi Party. Thank you very much indeed, all of you, for joining us. Let me just start by asking you, Mr. Vivek Tankha, because you've come out, Tankha Saab, very much against this move. Now, why is that? Because it's quite interesting. Kamal Nath, other leaders of your party in Madhya Pradesh, have not come out so frontally. Kamal Nath has actually welcomed this, saying this is similar to what he had announced when he was Chief Minister, similar, 70% jobs in private sector for locals. Why are you against it?
Srinivasan, let me tell you, I'm a very straightforward politician. I don't believe in gimmicks. I don't like gimmicks. I think politics is a very serious mission. It's a very serious mission.
Okay.
And when I see chief ministers making such an announcement, it doesn't matter whether it's MP or any other state. I know they know it's untrue. I know the judgments of the Supreme Court. I mean, today, repeatedly, Supreme Court has been striking down that you can't have reservation on the basis of residence. Whether it's Tamil Nadu, whether it's Andhra Pradesh, I mean, any number of judgments. And the latest is Justice Arun Mishra's constitutional bench judgment, where they say you can't have 100% reservation. So why do these things? Why are you misleading the children? You know, I just heard those children, they become so hopeful. And then when all this doesn't materialize,
yes,
they become disappointed. It can't be a job of a top politician to mislead people.
Okay,
that's my case. Otherwise, I'm the one who's fighting for jobs in Madhya Pradesh.
Right.
I want job creation in Madhya Pradesh. But don't do things which mislead young people. I mean, it's unfair. It's very unfair to the society.
Fair enough. We actually have a graphic, put that up on screen, on how multiple court rulings have found jobs for locals are illegal. And that is the question that I really want to ask you, Neha Bagga of the BJP, that whether it was the Allahabad High Court in 2019, whether it was the Madhya Pradesh High Court in 2018, whether it was the Supreme Court in 2002, they've all struck down jobs for locals, saying this is unconstitutional. Neha Bagga, so is the BJP, is Shivraj Singh Chauhan, as Mr. Tankha is saying, misleading the youth?
Srinivasji, see, first of all, I would like to tell you that all legal provision for this purpose will be taken into consideration.
But how?
Also looking at Supreme Court orders. I'm surprised that Vivek Tankha is surprised today and he's feeling hurt that people of Madhya Pradesh is being misleaded. Where was he when Kamal Nath ji made statement of 70% of reservation? Why he didn't speak up that time? Because that time his party was giving all the jumlas in Vachan Patra, which was Dhakosla Patra. And also continuously they were misleading youths. They said that on the name of employment.
Saying, I'll definitely give him a chance to respond to that, but are you saying that you are also misleading?
No, I'm telling you that youth of Madhya Pradesh is very happy that this long pending decision has taken place. And in your package also, you have shown youth how excited they are that resources of Madhya Pradesh belong to them, is going to come back to them in all government jobs.
That is fine. The point is, it's illegal as per the judiciary. So it's against the constitution. The judiciary has ruled against it. So how is this going to become realistic?
See, all these provisions are already taken place in Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Maharashtra. Among these, Chhattisgarh and Maharashtra, Congress is leading. I don't understand why Congress leaders don't speak when something like this happens in the state where they are ruling. When it is happening in Madhya Pradesh and when it is happening in favor of youth of Madhya Pradesh, why they are so worried? We have made the roadmap, how we are going to work on it, what is the legal procedures, what are the legal orders from Supreme Court, how we are going to implement. We are continuously, government is doing
you're saying it's still, okay, that sounds like you still have to figure it out. But Vivek Tankha, quick response, and I go to the rest of the panel. Why didn't you speak up when Mr. Kamal Nath made a similar announcement?
Srinivasan, possibly the lady doesn't know what Mr. Kamal Nath had done. Mr. Kamal Nath had said that people who want to set up industries in Madhya Pradesh in the private sector, since they will be using the land and resources of the state, they will have an agreement with the government that 70% of their employees would be local. It is more voluntary, and then it was private sector. It is not a constitutional bar per se. It was more consensual. Now, what Madam Bagga doesn't realize is we are talking of government jobs, and on government jobs, Supreme Court has struck down in not one state but at least 10 states such provisions. It is actually you're defying the courts, you're misleading the people. You know it's a wrong thing, and yet because the election's round the corner, you want to make an announcement and make young people feel happy when I know that this won't happen.
Right.
And then they will be disappointed.
Okay, let me just, Gurcharan Das, let's just put up on screen actually all the instances of chief ministers of late who have made these announcements. And that's one of the reasons also why we have a gentleman from the Aam Aadmi Party, because Arvind Kejriwal made a similar announcement saying that, you know, he's going to reserve 70-75% jobs for locals in the private sector. The Jharkhand chief minister has just made that announcement this month. Now you have Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Gurcharan Das, is this a mistake?
Of course it's a mistake. And two wrongs don't make a right. I mean, what Kamal Nath did was worse. The reality is that both Kamal Nath and Shivraj Chauhan, in this case, have scored a self-goal, as has at all the other states that you mentioned. You know, at a time when China is creating a meritocratic order in their country, where the best people in the government, best people in the private sector, the right people are running the country. We are having, I mean, this is what gives a bad name to Indian democracy.
Right.
What we're doing is the opposite. And, you know, for example, if this proposal were to go, it won't go through. But if it were to go through and you needed in a government hospital a specialist who was not available, a cancer specialist who was only available in Bombay or somewhere.
Right.
And you can't hire that man. And you'll be hurting your own people, your own state. So the answer to the chief ministers who are doing this mischief is that you make your state worthy of investment.
Right.
The ease of doing business.
Right.
You make it worthy so that, first of all, it's not the government's job to give jobs. The jobs are created by the private sector.
Right.
And so the youth of Madhya Pradesh,
Yeah.
if you want to do them a favor, then
bring in investment.
you
Okay.
make Madhya Pradesh competitive.
Right.
Make it competitive, and then and we know the
Yes.
ways to make state
Okay.
competitive.
Let
do
me-
the reform,
Right.
etc. And
Let me just
otherwise, this is a self-goal.
Okay, it's a self-goal. Let me just go to Dr. Ajay Kumar, because Ajay Kumar, Arvind Kejriwal had said in March 2019, if there is full statehood for Delhi, there will be 85% jobs for locals. Was that again just a pre-election gimmick? And is it again a city like Delhi, cosmopolitan? Is that really what we need?
Look, Srinivas, if you look at from outside and what Gurcharanji is saying, you might say that all kinds of reservation or all kinds of reservation for local goes against the grain of common sense logic. But if you look at most of the jobs, now take an example like if you have out of 100 jobs, if 85% are paying between 12,000 rupees to 20,000 rupees or 18,000 rupees or whatever you want to call it, those are jobs which have very limited skill sets, right?
Yes.
A large and so the question again you need to ask where the private sector definitely feels or a lot of people feel aggrieved is that if you keep allowing a certain amount of low-level people from all states coming for fighting for the very low salary jobs, you keep shifting the bottom. No, one second, let me complete to get my point. Suppose you have. Take an example like labor from in factories in Haryana, right? Now, if you take the flooring as 18,000 rupees or 15,000 rupees, and you don't get the locals, you get people coming from Jharkhand in awfully terrible conditions. So the question again is, are we ready? Okay, if you're ready to look at those jobs and say that, listen, majority of the jobs which are low skill sets, which can be adequately supplied by the people in the local area, I can understand the cancer specialist, I can understand expertise, I can understand managerial positions. But when you continuously look at opportunities to exploit low-cost labor from the, the most, what you call interiors of Jharkhand, or get people from interiors of Jharkhand in Delhi, and then say, by the way, okay, I want the going rate for a driver in Delhi should have been 20,000 rupees. No, I'm just completing.
But that's how an open economy. That's how open societies and open economies work.
Okay, so right.
You just have a flow of people.
One sec.
Let me just bring in.
I'll just complete.
I need to move on very quickly.
I'll just quickly complete.
Quickly.
Then when the minimum wages are set,
yes,
then there is a lot of crying, shouting and crying. So the question again is, what is a decent minimum wages in a city of Delhi? Is it 800 bucks a day?
Okay, I need to move on. Amit Basole, is there any evidence, you've looked at jobs, and this is interestingly coming at a time when every single data point we have on jobs is very worrying, that is there anything to suggest at all that this kind of approach, jobs for locals, actually helps in terms of employment or job creation?
See, it's you can understand where the impulse comes from in the context of high joblessness, particularly for educated youth, but it is really not a solution for some of the reasons that have already been mentioned. But I want to emphasize where it is pointing to. It is pointing to the need for a vibrant local economy. And that, I think, is where the focus really should be. Now, that can be through public infrastructure, that can be through private investment and all of that.
Right.
When you create laws like this, unintentionally, what you might also do is create those vulnerable workers who are coming in from out of the state might become even more vulnerable also, right? Because now they are not even supposed to be there. So you're not changing any of the structural conditions that are causing, let's say, long distance migration or people to come from, let's say, UP or Jharkhand to Gujarat or Maharashtra and so on. If you haven't changed any of those conditions, they might still come, but now they will also be illegal, which makes it worse.
They're making them vulnerable. You know, one thing, if we have that tweet from Shivraj Singh Chauhan, if we can pull up that tweet, this is when Shivraj Singh Chauhan was himself in the opposition. This is the time when he was in the opposition, and at that time, Neha Bagaji, it seemed that he was taking a very different line. He seemed to actually be questioning Kamal Nath. At that time, Kamal Nath had made an announcement. This is immediately after Kamal Nath became Chief Minister. He said that we will raise the doubt about whether people from UP and Bihar will be allowed to work in Madhya Pradesh. At that time, Shivraj Singh Chauhan said, Madhya Pradesh mein na koi idhar ka hai, na koi udhar ka. Madhya Pradesh mein jo bhi aata hai, yahan ka hai, aur yahin bas jata hai. Pradesh to Hindustan ka dil, ऐसा ही उसको ऐसा नहीं कहते. I mean, he's saying that Madhya Pradesh is the heart of Hindustan, and whoever comes in stays here, he is from Madhya Pradesh. So that's the question, Neha Bagga, that you change your tune based on when you're in opposition or when you're in power. So it's not really a serious thing about jobs for locals, it's political opportunism.
Srinivas ji, there's no political opportunity in this. As Congress is saying, I want to make it very clear that there's a difference. While Kamal Nath ji made the announcement, he was talking about that no UP Bihari will be allowed in Madhya Pradesh. Now, we are not focusing on any state, anybody from belonging to any state, but we are focusing on our own youth. We
but
are
you are
focusing
excluding
on
people,
our resources, and we are saying that these resources first belong to Madhya Pradesh youth, and first priority in government jobs will be given to Madhya Pradesh youth. The plan which we have made.
But the other question is, that you have yourself, I mean, when you talk of new jobs and creation of jobs, if you look at the data for vacancies unfilled in government jobs, at the moment there are 93,000 vacancies already. Why not fill those first before starting to block people from getting jobs?
Srinivas, in this financial year, 10,000 jobs are expected, out of which 4,269 police constable posts are vacant, on which Home Minister has earlier made announcement that we are planning to, bring out the gadget vacancy of this, and we will be filling this. And in Yuva Prathmik Shiksha, approximately 6.5 lakh vacancies are pending. When we implement this policy of giving employment to youth of Madhya Pradesh, all these 10,000 recruitment will be done for the local people of Madhya Pradesh. And you'll see that apart from this, 15 to 20 lakh youth will benefit from this policy.
20 lakh, okay. Vivek Tankha.
And ultimately, we are also
at the same time, okay, I need to move on. I need to move on. you're saying 20 lakh youth will benefit. Actually, unemployment in Madhya Pradesh, according to government data, has gone up from 20 lakhs in 2018 to 27 lakhs in 2019. So unemployment is actually rising. But Vivek Tankha, the point is, just a second, ma'am, I need to move on. Vivek Tankha, the point is that how do you even define who is a local?
Srinivasan, there are many complexities which the BJP government is not realizing. There are about 1 crore people from Madhya Pradesh either working, studying, and settled in other states. Now, do you think what will be the condition of those people and people in future who want to go out, other states will react? Do you realize that majority of your posts which you want to fill are class 3 and class 4, where all this doesn't apply? It's only for class 2 and class 1. Class 3 and class 4, nobody comes from Guwahati to become a constable in Madhya Pradesh. The issue is not about class 3 and class 4. They will always be, it will always be local. It's only for class 1 and class 2 that all this issue arises. Like 50% of your judicial officers in Madhya Pradesh are from outside. 50% of your state services of people are from outside, because those ads have to be all India ads as per Supreme Court judgments.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying, that for your majority of your posts do get filled up locally.
Right.
And for this you don't have too many jobs. If you have 90,000 vacancies and 28,000 unemployed people, I mean, you see the difference yourself. And 28,000 is an understatement. 28 lakhs is an understatement.
Right.
It may be a few crores.
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is, don't bring hopes into people as if you're going to offer that you don't have jobs, first of all. And then you make these big statements.
Yeah.
The youngsters get excited. They feel there's a job waiting for them. The fact is there's no job in Madhya Pradesh.
Okay. Gurcharan Das, last word from you. This is coming at a time when the latest data from CMI, Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, which I think many of us would have seen, is projecting that there's almost 2 crore job losses, salary jobs that have been lost since April 2020. So again, a question of priorities. Is this really the time to start doing reservation, or is it really a time to worry about where are these jobs going to come from?
Exactly. I think this is where the whole, why I call it a self-goal. I mean, the people who are behaving like this, whether it's in Madhya Pradesh or Delhi or Maharashtra, they are not behaving like Indians. And frankly, I think it's a shame. It's really, we are all Indians. India is one. And one of the things we have is that I can go and live in Madhya Pradesh and be treated as an equal. Now, if you start behaving like this, here we have just in Kashmir, we've changed the status and allowed this, the BJP government has allowed in the new status of Kashmir for Indians to go and work and own property in Kashmir.
Yes.
And we're the opposite
here
in this case.
Okay.
And frankly, absolutely at the heart of it is what you just said. The only way to create real jobs is to make your state worthy of investment.
Okay, I think that's the
states and
that's the focus. Okay, we're out of time. We're out of time. That's really the focus, and let's hope that focus is reset. Thank you all so much for joining us. We're completely out of time. It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for watching. That's it on Reality Check. Good night.